What if 5 drinks you consume regularly, drinks marketed as healthy, drinks your doctor has never warned you about, drinks sitting in your refrigerator right now, are silently accelerating bone loss, kidney damage, and blood sugar dysregulation in ways your body after age 60 cannot compensate for? Not sodas, not alcohol, drinks that carry health halos, drinks you bought because you were trying to do the right thing. I am not talking about occasional indulgences. I am talking about drinks consumed daily by millions of adults over 60 who have no idea what is happening inside their kidneys, their bones, and their pancreas every single time they pour a glass. The research is unambiguous. The mechanisms are well understood. And yet nobody is connecting the dots for the people who need this information most. Before you finish today, you need to know what I am going to tell you, because what you drink in the next 24 hours will either support your body or work against it. And right now, you may not know which is which. My name is Dr. Sarah Envem. I have spent 16 years working in preventive medicine and metabolic health, specifically with adults over 60. And in that time, the pattern that has shocked me most is how many of my patients are consuming drinks they believe are supporting their health. Drinks recommended by trainers, by influencers, by well-meaning family members that are actually accelerating the exact conditions they are trying to prevent. 3 years ago, I had a patient come in with worsening kidney function. Her nephrologist could not explain it. Her medications were appropriate. Her diet was clean. Also, when I asked her to walk me through everything she consumed in a typical day, the problem became immediately clear. She was drinking 3 things marketed as health drinks that were overloading her kidneys with work they could no longer handle. We made one change. Within 8 weeks, her kidney function markers stabilized. This video contains no products, no sponsorships, and no agenda except giving you accurate information. Everything I share today is grounded in published research from peer-reviewed journals in nephrology, endocrinology, and bone metabolism. Where evidence is strong, I will tell you. Where findings are modest, I will say that too. You deserve that honesty. Here is what is happening in your body right now that you have probably never connected to what you drink. Every beverage you consume passes through your kidneys, on your pancreas, your liver, and your bones. These organs do not process liquids the same way at 65 as they did at 35. And the drinks that were benign or even beneficial in your 30s can become actively harmful after 60 for reasons that are well documented in the medical literature. Your glomerular filtration rate, the measure of how efficiently your kidneys filter waste from your blood, declines by roughly 1% per year after age 40. By the time you reach 60, even if you have no kidney disease, your kidneys are working at 70 to 80% of their peak capacity. Research published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology has documented that this decline is universal and unavoidable. What that means in practical terms is that your kidneys cannot handle the same sodium load, the same phosphorus load, or the same metabolic byproducts that they managed effortlessly at 30. After age 60, your muscle mass declines. Your cells become less responsive to insulin. Research in diabetes care has consistently shown that older adults experience measurably higher and longer blood glucose spikes in response to the same carbohydrate load compared to younger adults. This is not about being diabetic. This is about normal aging. When you drink something with concentrated sugar, even natural sugar from fruit, your pancreas has to work harder and longer to bring your blood glucose back down. And every prolonged spike damages your blood vessels, your kidneys, and your nerves incrementally. Your bones are not static. They are constantly being broken down and rebuilt. After age 60, especially in women after menopause, bone breakdown accelerates. And research in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research has documented that phosphoric acid, a common ingredient in many beverages, directly interferes with calcium absorption and accelerates bone mineral loss. Your parathyroid glands try to compensate by pulling calcium from your bones to keep your blood calcium stable. Over years, this creates a slow, silent loss of bone density. Now, let me ask you something. Do you feel more tired in the afternoon than you used to? Do you crave something sweet or caffeinated to get through the day? Have you been told your kidney function is declining, but nobody explained why? Type yes in the comments right now if any of that sounds familiar. Because those are not random symptoms of aging. Those are signs that what you are drinking is working against your body's ability to maintain balance. This is what accumulates silently. Each drink creates a small metabolic burden. Each day, your kidneys filter a little less efficiently. Each glucose spike damages your vessels a little more. Each phosphate load pulls a little more calcium from your bones. Until one day, you are diagnosed with kidney disease, osteoporosis, or diabetes, and nobody connects it to the drinks you consume for years trying to be healthy. I want to tell you about Linda. She is 67, a retired elementary school teacher from Ohio. She came to me after 2 years of progressively worsening fatigue and afternoon energy crashes. Her primary care doctor had run standard labs. Her thyroid was fine. Her iron was fine. She was told it was probably just aging and stress. Take naps, reduce your schedule. Linda is a disciplined person. She exercised 4 days a week. She ate a Mediterranean diet. She did not smoke. She rarely drank alcohol. By every conventional measure, she was doing everything right. When I asked Linda to walk me through what she drank in a typical day, here is what she described. Morning, a large glass of orange juice with breakfast. Mid-morning, a store-bought green smoothie from the health food section. Afternoon, a low-calorie sports drink during her workout. Evening, a glass of diet iced tea. Every single one of these drinks had been recommended to her as healthy. I asked her one question nobody else had asked. Have you checked your blood glucose after drinking these? She had not. We did a simple test. Her fasting glucose was normal, but 2 hours after her morning orange juice and smoothie, her blood glucose had spiked to 180. Her body was spending 4 to 5 hours every single day in a state of hyperglycemia, and she had no idea. I recommended a simple change. Replace the orange juice with whole fruit. Replace the smoothie with plain Greek yogurt and berries. Replace the sports drink with water and a pinch of salt. Keep the diet iced tea, but limit it to 1 glass. 6 weeks later, Linda told me her afternoon crashes had stopped. Her energy was stable all day. She said, 2 years, 3 doctors, all I needed was to stop drinking the things I thought were helping me. This was not a miracle. This was her body responding to better conditions. Conditions she had simply never been given the information to create. Before I tell you what to drink instead, I want to show you the 5 specific drinks that are actively working against your health after 60. Because understanding the mechanism is what makes the solution stick. 1 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains 21 grams of sugar and almost no fiber. When you drink juice, you are consuming the sugar content of 3 to 4 oranges in liquid form that hits your bloodstream in minutes. Research in diabetes care has documented that liquid sugar causes faster and higher glucose spikes than solid food because there is no fiber to slow absorption. Your pancreas has to flood your system with insulin. Your liver converts the excess fructose to fat, and because juice is liquid, you do not feel full. So you consume far more sugar than you would eating whole fruit. After 60, when your insulin sensitivity is already declining, this is a metabolic disaster. I know what you are thinking. No sugar means no problem. But research tells a different story. Studies in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society have found that daily diet soda consumption is associated with increased risk of stroke and dementia in older adults. Separately, research in Osteoporosis International has documented that the phosphoric acid in diet sodas accelerates bone mineral loss. The artificial sweeteners alter your gut microbiome and may paradoxically worsen insulin resistance. And the acidity erodes tooth enamel. There is no benefit, only risk. A typical store-bought smoothie contains 50 to 70 grams of sugar. That is more sugar than 2 cans of soda. The fruit is pulverized. The fiber is broken down. What you are drinking is a glucose bomb marketed as health food. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that blended fruit produces higher glucose spikes than whole fruit because the mechanical breakdown accelerates digestion and absorption. After 60, when your glucose tolerance is already compromised, a daily smoothie is not supporting your health. It is undermining it. Unless you are running a marathon, you do not need a sports drink. One bottle contains 20 to 35 grams of sugar and 200 to 400 milligrams of sodium. Research in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology has documented that excess sodium intake accelerates kidney function decline in older adults. Your kidneys after 60 cannot excrete sodium as efficiently as they once did. Every sports drink you consume forces your kidneys to work harder to maintain balance. And the sugar load is no different than juice: a rapid spike, an insulin surge, and metabolic stress. These are marketed as healthier alternatives to soda. But read the label. Most contain 10 to 15 grams of added sugar per bottle. Some contain artificial sweeteners. Some contain synthetic vitamins your body does not absorb efficiently in liquid form. Research in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has found that people who regularly consume flavored waters consume significantly more total sugar than those who drink plain water. The flavoring creates a sweet taste preference that carries over to food choices. You are training your palate to crave sweetness. And after 60, that is a habit that accelerates metabolic decline. I know what some of you are thinking. I have been drinking orange juice my whole life. Or if it was really a problem, wouldn't I already know? Wouldn't something have happened by now? Here is why the damage is silent and cumulative. Your body at 30 compensated effortlessly. Your pancreas had reserve. Your kidneys had reserve. Your bones were dense. Every year after 40, that reserve declines. The drinks that were benign at 30 become problematic at 60 because your organs no longer have the capacity to buffer the metabolic load. The glucose spikes get higher, the kidney burden gets heavier, the bone loss accelerates, and by the time symptoms appear, years of damage have already accumulated. What I am about to show you is what to drink instead, and why it matters more after 60 than at any other time in your life. Let me be very clear about what the science actually supports. Research in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition has documented that adequate water intake improves kidney function, supports detoxification, and helps maintain stable blood glucose. Coffee and tea, when consumed without added sugar, contain polyphenols and antioxidants that research in nutrition reviews has linked to reduced inflammation and improved metabolic health. Whole fruit provides fiber that slows glucose absorption, feeds beneficial gut bacteria, and supports satiety. Here is the physiological mechanism. When you drink plain water, your kidneys do not have to process sugar, sodium, phosphates, or artificial chemicals. They can focus on their primary job: filtering waste and maintaining electrolyte balance. When you eat whole fruit instead of drinking juice, the fiber creates a steady, controlled release of glucose into your bloodstream. Your pancreas secretes insulin in a measured way. Your liver is not overwhelmed. Your blood vessels are not exposed to damaging spikes. The evidence is not preliminary. It is robust, replicated across multiple populations, and clinically significant. A study in JAMA Internal Medicine followed older adults for 10 years and found that those who drank primarily water had significantly better kidney function, lower rates of diabetes, and better bone density compared to those who consumed sugary or artificially sweetened beverages regularly. But this is only the first layer. What I am about to show you next is how to make this sustainable, because knowing what to avoid is useless if you cannot stick with the alternative. I want to tell you about James. He is 72, a retired engineer from Texas. He came to me managing early-stage chronic kidney disease. His nephrologist had him on appropriate medications. His labs were stable but not improving. But James was living with a quiet, private fear he had not fully expressed to anyone. Every time he went in for blood work, he would lie awake the night before, watching the clock, worried that this would be the test that showed his kidney function had declined to the point where dialysis was inevitable. He had not told his wife how scared he was. He had not told his doctor. He thought accepting the fear was part of managing a chronic condition. When I asked James to describe what he drank daily, he told me he had switched to diet sodas 2 years earlier because his doctor told him to reduce sugar. He was drinking 3 to 4 cans a day. And he also drank a daily electrolyte beverage his trainer recommended for hydration. I explained phosphate load, sodium burden, and what happens when kidneys that are already compromised have to process these compounds daily. I explained that diet sodas were not a neutral alternative. They were adding stress. I recommended he replace all of it with plain water, herbal tea, and 1 cup of black coffee in the morning. 8 weeks later, James came back for follow up labs. His GFR, glomerular filtration rate, had improved by 6 points. Not cured, not reversed, but stabilized and slightly improved. His nephrologist called it one of the better responses to conservative management he had seen. James told me, "I thought I was doing everything right. I thought diet meant better. I didn't know I was making it worse." That is the line I want you to remember. Sometimes the things we are told are better are just different versions of the same problem. And your body knows the difference even when the labels do not. Drink 8 to 10 cups of plain water daily. If you find plain water boring, add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a few mint leaves. No sweeteners, no flavorings. Research in the Journal of Human Nutrition and Dietetics has documented that people who make water their primary beverage consume significantly fewer total calories and have better metabolic markers. Black coffee and unsweetened tea are acceptable. 1 to 2 cups of coffee daily. Unlimited unsweetened tea. Green, black, herbal. The polyphenols support cardiovascular health. But the moment you add sugar, cream, or flavored syrups, you negate every benefit. If you want the nutrients from fruit, eat the whole fruit with a glass of water. 1 medium orange with water gives you fiber, vitamins, and controlled glucose release. A glass of orange juice gives you a glucose spike and metabolic stress. The difference is profound. This includes regular sodas, diet sodas, sports drinks, flavored waters, sweetened teas, and store-bought smoothies. All of them. There is no safe amount. There is no healthy version. They are all metabolic liabilities after 60. Brew your own iced tea. Infuse water with fruit overnight. Make your own smoothie with whole ingredients. 1 serving of fruit, plain Greek yogurt, a handful of spinach, water. Control what goes in. No added sugars, no hidden ingredients. Margaret is 69 from California. She made the switch from daily orange juice and smoothies to water and whole fruit, but she was still buying flavored sparkling water because it felt like a compromise. 3 weeks in, she noticed she was craving sweets more than before. When we reviewed the ingredients, her sparkling water contained natural flavors and citric acid, both of which trigger sweet cravings. I asked her to switch to plain sparkling water with a squeeze of fresh lime. 2 weeks later, the cravings stopped. Total cost, $0 beyond what you already spend on groceries. Total time investment, the time it takes to fill a glass from the tap. People think the problem is calories, so they switch to zero-calorie sweeteners. But the research on artificial sweeteners and metabolic health is concerning. Your body still responds to sweet taste. Your insulin still spikes. Your gut bacteria are still disrupted. Replacing one problem with another is not a solution. Agave nectar, honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar, these are all sugar. Your body processes them the same way. The fact that they come from a plant does not make them appropriate for daily consumption after 60. Natural does not mean metabolically neutral. You've been drinking these beverages for years or decades. Your taste preferences are entrenched. Trying to switch to plain water overnight usually means giving up by day 3. Introduce one change every 3 to 4 days. Start by replacing your morning juice with whole fruit and water. Next week, replace the afternoon sports drink. Within 2 weeks, the entire shift feels natural. Identify the one sweetened beverage you consume most frequently. Replace it with water starting tomorrow morning. Buy a reusable water bottle you actually like. Keep it filled and visible. Aim for 8 cups of plain water daily. Water as your default beverage. Black coffee or unsweetened tea. Whole fruit with water. No sweetened beverages of any kind. Track 3 things each week: your afternoon energy level, your sugar cravings, how often you feel genuinely thirsty. After 30 days, come back to the comments and tell me what changed. You are not broken. Some of what you have accepted as inevitable aging, the fatigue, the cravings, the declining lab results, is not genetic. It is not irreversible. It is nutritional. And nutritional problems have nutritional solutions. I need to be clear about what I am telling you. Switching to water will not cure diabetes. It will not reverse kidney disease. It will not eliminate your need for medication. What it does is remove a daily metabolic burden that your body after 60 can no longer handle without consequence. It gives your kidneys, your pancreas, and your bones the best possible conditions to maintain function for as long as possible. That is not a small thing. That is the difference between stable function and accelerated decline. If this video gave you information that changes how you think about what you drink, I have one request. Share it. Think of one person in your life who drinks diet sodas daily, who buys smoothies thinking they are healthy, who has been told their kidney function is declining. One person, one click. If you are new here, subscribe. Every week, I bring you evidence-based health information for adults over 60. Practical, honest, grounded in real research. Mind before you go, leave a comment. Which of these 5 drinks are you going to stop consuming? What is the hardest one to give up? I read every comment personally. Your body has not given up on you. Give it the conditions it needs to do its work well. Starting with what you pour into your glass tomorrow morning. Close-up of orange juice being poured. Senior reading beverage labels in grocery store. Comparison shot. Whole orange next to glass of juice. Kidney function diagram / animation. Blood glucose, spike graph animation. Senior drinking water from reusable bottle. Whole fruit display with water glass. Sugar content comparison. OJ versus whole orange. GFR decline. Graph, age 40 to 80. The 5 drinks to avoid. List graphic. Simple protocol. Water, coffee, tea, whole fruit. Split image. Left shows 5 popular drinks. OJ, diet soda. Our smoothie, sports drink, vitamin water, with red X marks. Right shows Dr. Envem with glass of water, calm and confident. Bold text. Never after 60, plus doctor reveals why.